So many different times in my life, I've played with broken or hurt things, broken foot, broken leg, broken hand, broken arm, broken sternum, broken collarbone. I could keep going if I just thought more about bones. Why, man? Because I loved it. I loved playing the game. I was passionate about it. One of the reasons I even get encouraged at seeing all of you here, do you know why I get encouraged by that? Is because you could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrive Time Show, starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zillner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Mr. Clyde started from the bottom, and now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks. I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Now the next thing is you want to have it's form plugins, okay? Right. So we talked about that, but that's a plugin that allows you to put in your name, your contact, your info. You're telling the user, hey, give me your contact information and I will schedule an appointment.
Hey, can we put a plugin for if somebody doesn't know how to build a website? What can we provide them here at Thrive 15?
Okay, well, hey, real quick. If you don't know how to build a website, we have obviously trainings on it. Yeah. And then we have hundreds of Thrivers who've reached out to us recently and have gone, will you just build it for me?
Yeah. Can you share a little bit about that?
Basically what we've done is we've teamed up with some of the most brilliant minds on the planet to provide you a site that you can basically pay 10% of what anyone else in the world would pay.
Literally.
Yeah. So instead of spending $10,000 for stuff, you're going to spend like $1,000. Or instead of spending $5,000, you'll spend $500. We have different options, and so we do that for Thrivers. Now we've had hundreds of Thrivers take advantage of it, and so that's something we've now.
And I've seen some of the websites like Makalo and other people that we've worked with. These are not just excellent; these are world class websites that you guys have built.
Yeah, and we just did that because we have a lot of Thrivers who love our trainings and they're executing a lot of things, but then they go, our website is horrible and we don't know how to fix that. Could you help? And before we had always been able to say, yes, this is what you do, but now we can make it for you if that's something you want.
Affordable and world-class is a win-win.
Absolutely, it is a win-win. And now speaking of win-wins, the plugin, the forms, I want to talk about this.
Right.
The purpose of a form, let's go ahead and Google Tulsa Orthodontists. This is a man that we work with. Awesome guy. Love their good friends at Kirkpatrick and Lye. Great people. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for braces, what you do is you click it, click on it, boom. Now you're going, hey, I want to contact you guys. So you click on the top right, I want to contact you. That's a form right there. You say, I want to schedule an appointment. And that's how you do it, is by clicking the button there. And that's what we're talking about is forms.
Yeah.
Now the third is the security plugin. This will protect your website from a thing called malware, viruses, hacks. The point is there's people who wake up every day around noon and they decide to just spend their whole day hacking into websites.
They may or may not be Russian, Chinese, or North Korean.
No disrespect. But we'll just say
Stu, look what you started.
there is a lot. I'm just telling you, there is a lot of people in these communist countries who are hacking into websites right now.
Right.
And we just want to make sure that your site is protected to the highest level possible.
Yes.
So there are security plugins, and they'll protect you. And what are the ones that you'd recommend, Stu, as far as the best plugins?
The best 3 that I found, and you can mix and match these. There's something called iTheme Security,
Okay.
and WordFence is another one,
Yep.
and Securi. It's kind of hard to say, but Security is another one.
So you can put multiples. You can add multiples.
You can. You have to do it in the right combination. I want to say this too. It is possible. Wow, it got spiritual.
Wow. Is that opera?
No, I'm queuing this up because this is a sign of this is Illuminati music.
Oh,
Because you're always trying to pitch something that people have to pay for.
I see.
He knows your ways now.
So
Some
how
of
much does WordFence cost?
Some of these do cost money, but I want to say this. You can do this yourself, and we want to encourage you to know these things. But this is where, when it comes to security, this is where you really want someone like our team to help you through this process.
How much does it cost?
Is that what it comes down to? Is just the money?
I know what you're doing is you're constantly pitching things. It's like, just step into this room
Let's
and put this little number on your wrist.
In his
There's-
robe, Clay, in his robe.
Sir, are you referring to yourself as the Dark Lord?
All right, if you want to get into it. So WordFence, for example, for 1 year is $59. I do not make money on this, folks. Trust me.
Okay, so how much does security cost, Stuart?
Let's look it up.
Just give us your credit card and trust us. We can all live together in this communal.
$24.99 a month. So this is where
This is what I have to put up with, bus drivers.
This is where you're going to spend some money. Some of these security plugins, you really need to be careful. Otherwise, Google can delist your website if you got malware on the website. This is a serious thing. So you just got to be careful.
I want to say this, and then I'll get off it. I'll get focused. I just want to make sure, because a lot of thrivers are going, you're always trying to make money on these deals. Could you? I just want to pull this up real quick.
Sure.
If you can type in real quick, this is huge. If you could type in here, secluded monk cliff
What the what?
house
What the what
house.
is this?
Now click on images. I just want to show you where Stuart lives. No, this is just here's the one that's the top row. It's the fifth one. You should know what your house looks like, but click on that one.
Yeah, I
That's-
forgot what my house looked like.
That's his village. And when you go there, this is
Man,
and
I
they
love
go.
it.
Are you kidding me?
That's where he lives.
It's hard to drive to this house.
Where's that, in Catoosa?
Yeah, that's in Catoosa. It's kind of high up there. But anyway, so moving on. So thrivers, we really want to protect your site from a security perspective. Okay, so that's the deal. We want to protect it. You need plugins,
Yeah,
but just
absolutely.
Stuart's always trying to get your money. Okay, so the next thing is, do I need forms on my website? Well, what is a form and why do I need one?
Yeah.
Well, forms allow your customers to communicate with you via your website.
Wouldn't that be nice?
So forms are typically, wouldn't it be nice if, okay. So forms are typically used for contact requests.
Right. Contact us.
Request a quote.
Right.
Get a quote now.
Yep.
Typically,
Sched-
that's what you click on, right?
Schedule an appointment.
Yep.
That's how it works. And what you're doing is the customer is going to give you their email in exchange for something.
Is that like elephant in the room, like in the top right?
Yeah, let's go look at that real quick. That's a good example. And again, see, Jose has now been, he's like, come to Elephant in the Room. Just come there and visit our site.
Get your neck shaved and
Pay
your
us
beard
money.
trimmed.
Okay. The top right, if you see up there, if you hover over it, that's where you can see.
Is that an example of that?
Sign up today for a free paraffin hand dip and essential oil scalp massage.
Yeah.
Boom. By the way, Justin Bieber's stylist has received a haircut in our facility.
That is so cool.
Just
Come
name
on.
dropping. Nothing big.
That's so cool.
The Belieber. Don't take pictures of him.
Yeah. Right.
Pretty
Oh.
upset that I can't pay exorbitant amounts of money to have my photo taken with him anymore.
And he'll throw that Argentinian flag like he did at the window to that poor little fan last
Is this a
week.
true story or are you making up hyperbole?
Look it
here?
up in the news. He was coming out of the hotel, and this girl was so excited she threw the flag at him in all the excitement, and then he throws it out the window. She gets all offended.
It's weird how you refer to yourself as a girl, then you change the story around so it seems like it wasn't you who did it. Okay, moving on. Okay,
Clay, please, you're not supposed to say that.
All right, moving on. So what happens when someone submits a form? Well, forms typically will email a notification to a specified email address. So when you fill out the form, you typically will get an email from that company.
Right.
You want to make sure that you check this email regularly.
Right.
As an example, and I just hate this. I hate this. This actually happened, and so I'm going to cue up my music because it's kind of sad. This year, met a guy, and he thought his email, I was checking it, and I'm not exaggerating. He had a little over 800
Ouch.
non-responded to emails.
Ouch.
What's the potential revenue lost on something like that? In his case,
Well, his service, he makes about $150 a month,
yeah.
and he converts about half. So if you had 400 people times 150, that would be like $60,000 a month, I believe.
Man.
Times 12 months, that's $720,000 that he lost right there.
And not to mention the brand reputation of not responding to that email.
There you go.
And
That
just
is
think about
key.
how
That
mad
is
his
so
wife
key.
was. His wife was so mad. I mean, basically, the guy's life is ruined. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, we'll
Why
move
don't
on.
people check often? I mean,
No checklist. You gotta have a daily checklist. That's just the thing. I mean, it's a deal of like, without a checklist, we have trainings on this. Without a checklist, you're screwed. So have a checklist. Okay. The third, make sure you have a process in place to harvest the leads.
How do you do that?
Here's what I would do. I would make a checklist right now. Thrivers do it. We're going to call these key performance indicators. Okay. So Jose, I want you to put this on the screen. Key performance indicators.
Sure.
And we have a guy by the name of Gino Wickman, who's famous with his book Traction. He talks about this. It's called Getting a Grip on Your Business. But what you'll do is you're going to go ahead and say, every day, I got to do these, let's say these 20 things.
Yeah.
Check box 1. Check all emails.
yeah.
Check box number 2. Submit a test email in my form.
Every
day? Yeah, you go to your own form and you would fill it out and see if you get it.
Okay, there we go.
Third, check voicemails.
Yeah.
Fourth, call phone, see if the voicemails work. 5, etc. This is what you do.
You're stating the obvious is what you're doing right now.
And what happens is no one does it though.
Right.
So it's like, those of you who've ever had to travel with me to a speaking event, you're like, is there a lot of people that have traveled with you? There is a few people. It's a spiritual event, and so what happens is we go to these speaking events, and I just traveled there about 2 weeks ago with a guy named Corey, and he was like, "What are you doing now?" And I'm like, "I'm pulling out my checklist." But it's crazy, and it says on here, unpack books, check, and are you literally using a checklist to unpack the books? Yes. Next, unpack pins, unpack backup Wi-Fi, unpack iPad. Unpack, and he's like, do you really have to go through all 157 steps here? Yes. Why? Because there's so many checklists. We'll put up we'll put up the quote here. There's a book called Checklist Manifesto, and Atul Gawande, what he talks about is that people, this guy's a doctor, and he's helped the medical field quite a bit by improving the quality of care simply by using a checklist. What he found is that without a checklist, your mind, you forget the dumb stuff. So what happens is you screw up in a major, obvious way. A checklist protects you. It's like a guardrail. It protects you from driving off the cliff of life.
Let me ask you this. Are you so used to having a checklist that if you don't have one, you don't function? Are you that used to it?
Let me tell you about this problem called elitism that Carlton Pearson's tried to help me with.
Okay.
I talked to him about this. It's a problem. He has said to me, he's pouring into my life, teaching me some things, and he's like, due to elitism, I bet you get angry when people don't have a checklist, don't have a day timer, and don't have a to-do list, don't you? And I was like, yes. And so I'm so used to it. To me, it's common.
Right.
I get super irritated when I talk to somebody and I ask them, hey, what's a good time to meet? And they're like, I don't have my day timer. I'm like, how do you not have a day timer? So
just
anyway,
like a cell phone is part of people's body. That's
instead of freaking out, I'm trying to help you get a checklist to make sure, because this could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Someone right now is going to do this, and you're going to go, uh-oh. And you're going to discover that you have not been checking your emails and you have thousands of dollars left in the inbox. Now, the next thing, okay? Direct marketing, okay? So this is big, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is not direct marketing, but make sure you have a process in place to harvest the leads and make sure that you require the right information on your forms.
Right.
Make sure that you require the right information on your forms. Why am I saying that? Because if you get the name, phone number, and email, and that's what you need to do business, then get it.
Can I admit something?
Yes.
As a web person, I work with customers all the time. I work direct with the public a lot too. You showed me a few years ago, you asked me to require the phone number on forms.
Oh, boy.
And to web guys, to design nerds like me, requiring a phone number is just like breaking the law. Because we think that that's a wall that you're putting up that is not, it's going to cut down your submissions to that form. When we did that, I watched as you guys were able to harvest and convert more people because you had a sales script, you have those processes in place.
Wow.
That if I'm serious about requesting a quote, I'm going to put my phone number in.
Okay, bigger idea, and I'm glad you hit on it. This is a big idea. I want the contact information of ideal and likely buyers, and I want the time freedom to avoid non-ideal and likely buyers. Someone needs to write that down.
So you're sifting what you're doing.
You want the contact information of ideal and likely buyers, and you don't want. So, the example yesterday. Oh my gosh, this guy wins the Jackassery Award. I seriously, I was about to lose my mind. This guy. And if you're watching, you're the guy, you know what I'm talking about. There's a guy who claims to be in charge of some big company involved in crazy lawsuits right now. Whoa. But he reaches out to me. He reaches out and says, hey, I know our call is scheduled at 11, but I want to move that to 1. It's okay. You get a mulligan. We all have things come up. At 1 o'clock. Can we move that to 1:30? At 2. Can we move it to 2:30? Can we, right? This guy's missed the previous 2 other calls. He's hogging my calendar. So I calmly said to the guy, don't ever call me again under any circumstance about anything ever. You've occupied my time. And I only live one time. Please don't ever call me again. I literally said that yesterday. Please don't ever call me again, ever, under any circumstance. Never. Because you've occupied my time, and that's all I have on the planet is time. I can't make any more time. Stop calling me. And I say that because when people fill up your schedule and they're not ideal and likely buyers, it's a waste of your time. So what happens is these businesses, I see them all the time, they're like, we're getting like 18 emails an hour. Okay, well, now you have to respond to them all. You got to filter them all. You got to track them all. How many are you converting? So I would just make sure that you guys understand as thrivers out there, you only want the contact information of ideal and likely buyers. So for our photography business, as an example, if you don't want to give me your phone number, then you're not real.
Right.
And I don't care if I get one, I'd rather have 1 lead a day than 1,000 people who are just doing the email only.
It's a great way to just to sift them through.
It's huge.
So for some businesses, though, it's better just to have the email. As an example, let's say that you are a radio station and you make money by just having people listen. Or you sell ads because you tell people how big your list is. This is what I see. So radio stations, they go, we've got 1 million email addresses. Well, you've got like, don't email me crap at yahoo.com is, everyone's putting in their spam email.
Yeah.
But what's happening is all you want is to get a bunch of emails, and you really don't care if they're real people or not. You just want emails because you can sell. You're selling as an advertiser. I don't agree with the ethics of it, but you sell to people. You say, hey, listen, on my podcast, I've got over 1 million email addresses. Well, how many are real? Probably 7. But anyway, the point is, just be thinking about that, okay? So next thing here, okay, this is just big stuff to think about is what are some best practices regarding the website forms? Okay, we just talked about that a little bit. But 1, only require the minimum information that you need. Don't require everything.
Right.
Requiring more information will reduce the number of leads that you receive. That's right. So you shouldn't make like the person's address, the person's social security number, the person's blood type.
Right. But to your super important point before, maybe for ideal and likely buyers, you only want certain, like you said, if you have 100 submissions, but it takes you all day to sift through them, right?
Right.
Maybe you want to put more required fields there to get down to that 10 that are actually ideal and likely.
There's somebody right now who I just wish would get this right now. I talked to this person this week. I just wish you would get it. But this person has a boutique business, and they refuse to require anything beyond the email. And I'm just literally going,
Yeah.
Because I'm talking to, and they just won't do it. And so what's happening is they're getting hundreds of emails every day. Nothing's converting. Waste of time. Next things. Don't make the form too long, though. People are lazy and will bail out if the form's too long. Right. So if it's like 19 pages, 7 pages, 3 pages. Have you ever done a survey before where they're like,
oh, yeah,
rate your hotel stay?
Yeah. Your age.
And you want to be a nice guy.
Your income.
So you rate it, and then it says 5 simple steps. So you click on the first one. It's like, how would you rate your stay on a scale of 1 to 10? You're like, 7. Next question. What would you do to make it better? And then about the 5th step, you're like, frick, screw that form. I'm not doing that
I'm
form.
out of here.
Yeah. So don't make it super long. Now, the third, in terms of layout, use a single column form, not double column.
Yeah.
Double column forms where text fields are side by side can be very confusing and very hard to complete.
What's a good example of that, like a visual?
Well, I don't want to be slanderous. I will just say this. I have had dozens of clients, Stuart and I've tag team on a couple of these, where they are convinced that by having their entire super huge form online, we remember the guy, I won't mention the guy, but we had to spend months building this super long form.
Yep.
No one uses it.
Right.
They just want to schedule a freaking meeting, and they want you to do the work. It's like, this is kind of the old school joke that Steve Harvey talks about. He says he goes to rap concerts. And he's like, back in the day, you go to the concert, and you're there, and what would happen is the group would be singing. You know, they'd be dancing, they'd be having a good time in the Motown, and everyone's sugar pie, honey bunch. You know that? And then they're all doing their dances, and they all got their, and they got the moves. And then so he's doing it, and so he's like, and I'm just, you'd sit, and they would, and they would do the spins, and they would do the moves, and he's like, now you go to a rap concert, like, put your hands in the air. And he's like, I paid you. You put your hand in the air. I'm here to watch you. You do the work. I'm the one paying. All I'm saying is that a lot of businesses, though, they're like, do the form online. It's easier for me.
For him, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you this. I work with a mortgage guy right now who's killing the game.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what he does. Name, phone number, email, the amount of money you want to borrow, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll do a quick quote. I'll call you back in just a couple minutes. We'll see if we can take care of it.
Yeah.
So he picks up the phone. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, Jason, saw you just filled out this request for a loan. Good news. Looks like you might qualify. I just need to get a couple more pieces of information from you, and then we'll book an appointment. Guess who books more? The guy with the super huge form, an actual business, or the guy with the quick quote? I'm just saying the quick quote is a super move. It works. It actually generates revenue.
That's powerful.
Just saying. Okay, next thing. In terms of layout, remember again, single column, not double column. Just make it not difficult. Right. Sure. That's a big idea. Make the labels for each field easy to understand. So let's go to eitrlounge.com. Buy from us. You can trust us. Today. You and your family will be living on this land and sharing your income with us. And we'll all be sharing corn, and I'm going to need to have you give all your material things to me. Anyway, but if you go on the top right here, first time, name, email, phone. That's all we need to schedule your haircut.
Right.
Simple.
That right there is the perfect form.
Yep.
That form is sick. It's sick like swine flu. Okay, moving on. Using CAPTCHA will limit the illegitimate and legitimate submissions. So let me throw out CAPTCHA. So let's go to backlinkwatch.com. Backlinkwatch.com.
Is that your country accent, brother?
You go to backlinkwatch.com.
Anyway, Oklahoma.
You put that in there and hit check backlinks. And what will happen is if you go to the site all the time, they're going to start to require you to put in this CAPTCHA form. So let's do another one. Let's go to one that's like, let's go to small SEO backlink checker. Small SEO backlink checker. .com. Let's do that real quick here. And boom. Let's see if they require a little CAPTCHA. There they are.
Yep. Robot.
There's the caption. It says, I'm not a robot. And they want you to check that little thing.
It's really 3. You've seen 3 different ones, right? There's some of them are the scrambled words.
Yep.
You familiar with that? And then some
those are difficult, dude.
Some you have to solve the math problems. 2 + 2 really kills me every time.
Right.
I just never know.
I always get it wrong on that one.
I hate the CAPTCHA forms personally because there's times where you'll type in the word exactly as you see it.
Right.
And it doesn't go through.
Yeah.
And it won't go through. And then the second time you're like,
especially
fine.
on Facebook.
But the third time you're like, I have been working on this for 9 seconds.
Can I say too? This is a super move I see from you.
Yep.
People freak out about this. It seems like people want to, right? You put the caption there to avoid spam, right? Spam is the unnecessary Viagra posts and crap like that. But I've seen you do this several times. You recommend, well, don't put the CAPTCHA in there. If you're going to be top of Google, you're going to get a lot of spam anyway.
I have a guy every single day from somewhere going, God, I don't want to do the accent that I wanted to do, but it's a kind of like a Russian guy. I can't do the Russian accent really, but it's kind of like a guy, and he's just like, he'll say something like, you can tell he's Russian, not English national. He'll say, get to top of Google. Now research shows that your site could be. That's kind of a caveman, but the thing is,
why?
But he'll say it to like, if you want to get to the top of Google now,
Yeah.
and stop screwing around with yada yada and bang bang bang, you need to hire yada.com. His email's usually from, it's like Pavlov@gmail.com.
Pavlov.
Seriously, something like that. And they're always reaching out to me because I'm top in Google, which is how they're finding my stuff, which is kind of stupid because I am top in Google. But they have a bot.
Yeah. Right.
Well, they have a dude they're paying to find companies that are in the page 1 or 2 of Google. And they figure since you're investing money in being top in Google, you might want to pay even more to be even better. That's the idea. And they will email you every day. And I don't mind getting that, but I'm just telling you, every morning I get probably, for each one of my businesses we're top in Google, probably 10 emails from a company trying to offer us search engine tools. But it's worth it. It's the cost of being top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be a very successful politician and not have people hate me. Oh, good luck.
So
Okay.
is your recommendation to not use CAPTCHA?
I wouldn't use CAPTCHA. I wouldn't use any of that stuff. I just get to the top of Google and let the spam flow.
Because if you use CAPTCHA, it's going to cut down not only on the spammy stuff, but legitimate people that just can't figure out the code.
Can you Google Let It Flow, Tony Braxton?
Yeah.
Let It Flow. And then Tony, Toni, Braxton. Let it flow like Tony Braxton. That's all I'm saying. Right there's a song right there. Just let it flow. Let me read just the first couple parts of the lyrics and I'll be done. Let it flow. Let it flow. Keep going down. The lyrics, are there no lyrics? Yeah, maybe just let it flow. Okay, when you're on the top of Google, let it flow. Okay, it says, first thing Monday morning. Okay, here we go. First thing Monday morning, I'm going to pack my tears away. Got no cause to look back. I'm looking for a better day. You see, the thing about love is that it's not enough if the only thing it brings you is pain. There comes a time when we could all make a change, darling. The point is just let it flow. Don't put the CAPTCHA on there. That's the point. Let it flow. I do these things to help you remember these things, Thrivers. Let it flow. All right, next thing. Is website speed important? Well, that's a good question. Again, is the website speed important for search engine optimization?
Sure.
I'll tell you what. It is. Why? Because Google doesn't want people who are top in the Google search taking a nuclear half-life to come up to the top of Google. We'll go ahead and put the definition of a nuclear half-life on the screen. But the thing is that we don't want to click on a site and go, because the longer we have to wait, the less patient we become. Yep. Mm-hmm. Not so good. Okay, so the website speed is important, very important. Why does the site speed matter?
Yeah.
Because people are not patient.
Right.
They don't want to wait for a slow site to load. Therefore, they're not going to use that search engine anymore if that search engine only pulls up slow sites. Really? So I worked with a guy this month. We helped him get to the top of Google. His site is slow. It's slow like you wouldn't believe. And he's now like on page 2. He says, I don't understand. It's like I have to pay more money every time I want to move up in Google. I said, exactly. Because Google realizes you were top in Google, but your site's so slow, they docked you. They moved you down. Yeah. So if you want to be up top, you have to have a fast load. So Stu.
Yeah.
Also, mobile customers. They're using Wi-Fi. They're using a hotspot. They're working on a mobile device. And slow internet will just kill that experience.
Yeah, it just makes it worse. If you already have a slow site,
yep,
and then you're on your phone out there and you're not on Wi-Fi,
yep,
right? You know the difference. So Wi-Fi, you're going to be connected and it's going to be pretty fast.
So Wi-Fi, you're connected. It's kind of fast, pretty fast.
Yeah, it's faster.
Okay.
But when you jump in your car, and a lot of people don't drive and text or whatever, look up things on your internet.
I have never seen anyone do that, nor have I ever done that.
But if people are looking for, I don't know, a realtor or a bakery or something, this happens every day. You're on your phone, right? You're not on Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Chances are, and so that just makes it worse because you have that slow connection. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, and this is very important for Thrivers to get this. You want to make sure your site is not a slow site. So, Stuart, what are the ways that I could speed up my website? I mean, how do I actually speed up my website? How do I speed up my website?
Okay, nerd. Here we go to the nerd. The nerd dojo.
Unload.
So we talked about caching earlier. Caching comes back into the equation here. There's different caching plugins you can use to speed up a website. If you have something like GoDaddy Managed WordPress, and we do not make money on that.
Stu?
Oh,
Here he is again.
Here we go. If you use GoDaddy Managed WordPress, you have caching built in, so it's faster. We talked about earlier not having too many plugins.
Yep.
That's another example. You have too much code, it's going to slow it down.
Yep.
Okay. So real quick, I'm just making sure the drivers we're all tracking with me, okay? One is there are plugins that you can get. What's the plugin that you'd recommend?
Well, there's one called W3 Total Cache, I believe. Is what it's called.
W3 Total Cache. And that thing, it's a plugin you can put on your site that will help speed that beast up.
Right.
Okay. That's move number one. Move number two is you can optimize your pages. Now, I want to make sure you get this. If you limit the number of items on each page to what's necessary,
Right.
then it'll load faster. So as an example of what not to do, loading every YouTube video you've ever found onto the site.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I love embedding myself some YouTube videos.
Yes, you do.
I do. I love when you get a good YouTube video. And I'm just telling you, like, when you embed a video on your site, Google now has to think, the user has to think, their browser has to think a little more here. So what happens is, I want to embed this so much. Every Thriver needs to embed this on your site. But wherever I go, by OneRepublic, shameless plug-in, embed that on your site. But what happens when you embed that song, and I know you're going to, wherever I go with OneRepublic, when you embed it on your website, what it will do is it will now cause your website to load a little slower.
Right.
Maybe a 0.5%.
Yep.
You load 50, now we're up to maybe 25% slower.
Yep.
You load 100, which I've only done a couple times. What happens is it makes your site dramatically slower.
Yeah.
So you want to limit the amount of stuff you're putting on a site. Do I really need to upload that many, pages? If you do it. If not, okay. Very, very important. So just ask yourself that. Also, the third thing is you want to externalize, okay, this is big, kind of nerdy, but externalize the CSS and JavaScript. So first, Stu, can you Google search the word CSS? I want to pull up the definition of CSS. Everybody gets what this is, okay? CSS, it's a cascading style sheet, okay? It's a style sheet language used for describing the presentation of a document written in a markup language. Stu, what am I talking about? Kind of unpack that a little bit.
CSS is essentially a programming language
Yep.
that tells the website how it's supposed to look.
I see.
If it has images in the background, if it has colors in the background, what fonts do you use? Is it on the left or the right? That sort of thing.
So just so we're clear, it would be like, let's say that I owned Krispy Kreme. Can you Google Krispy Kreme real quick? And let's say that Krispy Kreme has a brand style packet. A lot of times they'll call it a branding style sheet or a branding standard sheet. Krispy Kreme will say, every time that you use our logo, you need to use this font. The word Krispy Kreme written in a different font isn't us. You have to use it. Look at Oreo. Every time you write the word Oreo, it has to be in this font.
Right.
These are the colors we use. This is the official red we use. This is the color green we use. This is how we do it. The cascading style sheet is like, this is how your website needs to look. This is the fonts you use, that kind of thing. JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Whoa. During the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, 2024, Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Growth Workshop. Yes, folks, put it in your calendar. This December, the month of Christmas, December 5th and 6th, Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business growth workshop. Whoa. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Folks, I'm telling you, if you want to learn branding, you want to learn marketing, you want to learn search engine optimization, you want to learn social media marketing, that's what we teach at the Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive workshop. If you want to learn a accounting. You want to learn sales systems. You want to learn how to build a linear workflow. You want to learn how to franchise your business. That is what we teach at the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshop. You know, over the years, we've had the opportunity to feature Michael Levine, the PR consultant of choice for Nike, for Prince, for Michael Jackson. We've had the top PR consultant in the history of the planet has spoken at the Thrive Time Show workshops. We've had Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, a company that creates apparel worn by celebrities all throughout the world. Jill Donovan, the founder of RusticCuff.com, has spoken at the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshops. We have the man who's responsible for turning around Harley Davidson, a man by the name of Ken Schmidt. He has spoken at the Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops. Folks, I'm telling you, these events are going to teach you what you need to know to start and grow a successful business. And the way we price the events, the way we do these events, is you can pay $250 for a ticket or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, we've designed these events to be affordable for you, and we want to see you live and in person at the 2-day interactive December 5th and 6th Thrive Time Show Business Workshop. Everything that you need to succeed will be taught at the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshop, December 5th and 6th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the way we do these events is we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a question and answer session so that wonderful people like you can have your questions answered. Yes, we teach for 30 minutes, and then we open it up for a 15-minute question and answer session. It's interactive. It's 2 days. It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've been doing these events since 2005, and I'm telling you, folks, it's going to blow your mind. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshop is America's highest rated and most reviewed business workshop. See the thousands of video testimonials from real people just like you who've been able to build multi-million-dollar companies. Watch those testimonials today at thrivetimeshow.com. Simply by clicking on the testimonials button right there at thrivetimeshow.com, you're going to see thousands of people just like you who've been able to go from just surviving to thriving. Whoa. Each and every day, we're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup, but I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And someone says, Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrive Time Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. Who? You're going to come. Who? You? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies, and I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done his show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And so Mr. Clay Clark, he's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed, to the business owner, to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you, thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you, thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say. Whoa.